The phone's screen cast a cold blue light onto Alex's face, illuminating his bewildered expression. He stared unblinking at the video playing on a loop. It showed the back of a man, his man, walking out the front door of his house and disappearing into the thick, inky blackness of the night. The timestamp in the corner read 3:17 a.m. He didn't remember filming it. He didn't remember leaving. A shiver, completely unrelated to the room's temperature, traced a path down his spine. He replayed it again, his thumb hovering over the screen, searching for some detail, some glitch in the digital fabric that would explain the inexplicable. But the video was steady, the audio capturing only the faint chirp of crickets and the final soft click of the door shutting. It was his home, his jacket, his unsteady gait. It was him. A week bled into a blur of paranoia and exhaustion. Every morning brought a new digital ghost, a new video waiting for him on his phone, each one a fragment of a life he was living while he slept. One showed him standing in the middle of the street, staring up at the moonless sky. Another captured his hands digging frantically in the damp soil of his backyard garden. He saw himself sitting on a park bench miles from home, perfectly still, a silent sentinel in the pre-dawn gloom. Sleep became the enemy, a nightly abyss he was terrified to fall into. He mainlined coffee until his hands trembled and his heart hammered against his ribs. Dark, bruised circles formed under his bloodshot eyes, a physical manifestation of his fraying sanity. He felt like a stranger in his own body, a passenger in a vessel with an unknown pilot. Finally, desperate for an answer, he bought a small camera and mounted it high in the corner of his bedroom, its single unblinking eye aimed directly at his bed. Huddled over his laptop, Alex felt a knot of dread tighten in his stomach as he scrubbed through the night S footage. For hours, the video showed nothing but his own still form under the covers, a landscape of sheets and blankets rising and falling with his breath. He almost allowed himself to relax, to believe it was all a stress-induced delusion. Then, at precisely 3:17 a.m., it happened. He watched, horrified, as his body in the footage sat bolt upright, the movement unnervingly fluid and deliberate. It wasn't the groggy, slow awakening of a sleepwalker. This was something else. The camera's night vision painted the scene in ghostly shades of gray. He leaned closer to the screen, his own breath catching in his throat as the figure on the bed slowly, mechanically turned its head. It wasn't his face. The features were his, but they were warped into a grotesque parody. The eyes were wide, black, and utterly devoid of recognition, while the mouth was stretched into a silent, malicious grin that promised unspeakable things. As if sensing his terror across the barrier of time and technology, the thing wearing his face tilted its head and stared directly into the camera lens. It saw him. The final scene is familiar, a chilling echo of the first. The world is viewed through the unsteady lens of a smartphone camera. The screen reflects a face, Alex's face, but the eyes are cold and triumphant. The grin, that terrifying predatory grin from the laptop footage, is plastered across his features. The phone lowers slightly, and he, or the thing that is now him, turns his head to look at his own reflection in the darkened glass of the front door. He holds the gaze for a moment, a silent acknowledgement, a final, cruel smile playing on his lips. Then he turns, pulls the door open, and walks out into the waiting darkness, phone in hand, ready to film another memory.